Hey, what's up guys? I wanted to make a video. We're getting ready to take a trip to Bali. So super excited for this. We pretty much, planned it pretty last minute. And since then, since I usually when I make a plan like this, my whole energy of work changes almost instantly. Like for example, I don't think of sales. And I just, kind of like get into reporting mode before I'm leaving. So I make sure like the clients are good and everything like that. Everybody feels good. So it gives me some, peace of mind while I know that I'm going to be gone. But as I'm getting into this mindset, there's two things that has been dawning on me more and more. And I wanted to make a video about it to, paint the picture of how things can look once you're on your way to scaling up your business, past whatever, 30, 40K a month. And you can see in the horizon 70, 80, 100K a month and things like that. And this is what I realized. Two common new themes that I'm seeing, patterns, okay? There's lots of thoughts that, fall into these, under these two patterns, and I'll talk about them. The first one is this, and this is big. And this basically, what this looks like is this. A common theme I'm seeing in my idea of like scaling and everything is, what do I want? And this is a very big question, which I feel like nobody ever even puts any thought into, right? We all think about making this business go, and we all talk about it as if that's like the correct way to do it, right? So for example, I'd be like, well, why would you get an office when you're scaling up? If you need more infrastructure, then you can just turn into more like the CEO type of guy, hire people, more higher level people who can take care of all the stuff and scale like that, right? While other people may be like, hey, to have a proper sales people in place, you need an office where people can actually come commit to on a day-to-day basis so they can execute on the things you have for them, right? Two different things. That's a very common example. I've actually touched on that example before. And the choice you make in that is quite easy, right? Like it's quite, it just comes down to preference, right? What you want. Okay. Sometimes people have some trouble with that as well, but that's one. Now, when you go further into that direction, and you want to, try to imagine where you want to go when you're making 80, 90, 100K a month, let's say. The things that come in place is in that kind of direction, but it becomes a bit more convoluted. Like it's a bit like more, the choices are more open, right? And it really comes down to being able to know exactly what kind of lifestyle you want to have. So I'll give some examples on that. The first example is like this. Let's say you are not looking to, because the most like everything that people are talking about is like freedom, and you're like, you don't have to do anything, and everything's automated, and you have to touch shit, and you're just like sleeping and making money at night, right? All right. So the example I'll give is opposite of that, right? Let's start there. That's how I like to have fun with these videos. Just like go against the norm first, and then I'll come back to the norm and give examples of what that looks like. All right. Let's say you are not looking for that bullshit. You're not looking for, being a completely automated and stuff like that. You're looking to provide, like whatever it takes to provide great fucking service. You're still okay with working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, even when you are scaled out, making 100K a month. What does that look like? And what that would look like is something like this. I'll start from the fulfillment side. Let's say you are not looking to get other people in place who's going to take care of everything, all the fulfillment, right? Right now, let's say you have VAs who are doing the system stuff. But then you're going to eventually need somebody who can do the higher level stuff, right? Like strategy, like tinkering with certain businesses, because even though the plan was executed, they're not getting the type of results they're supposed to get. A VA is not going to go in and be able to troubleshoot that and try to see, analyze through Quora and Pop and all this kind of stuff, like of finding out what kind of things are not working. And, so you're going to need higher level people. So, okay, let's say you get like a head manager for SEO, like a project manager who's also really good in SEO. Cool. As time passes, as you keep scaling, are you going to get more SEOs who can implement the strategy that head managers is putting, or are you going to try to get more head managers, right? These are the type of questions that come in. Or, going on the example I was giving, do you want to stay as one of the top guys who's going to be implementing, testing, staying on top of the blink of the market from the fulfillment side, and make sure that you have people in place, high level people in place who can just execute what you put together, maybe with one other guy? These are questions that are real things, right? And there's no like easy like answer. You'll see that even contemplating on these things, there's no easy way to go somewhere and just be like, all right, I'm going to take a course, or I'm going to ask this person, he's going to tell me the answer, because there's no straight answer. And even if you do ask one person for his opinion, he can only give you, even if he has an agency scaled up and stuff like that, he can only give you one side of the tunnel, and it's not going to take into account what you want, because only you can know that. And it starts to get a little bit interesting, because I would say up until this point, around around 30 to 50K a month, you kind of have to do the things that you already know you have to do, right? So most of the stuff that I had to do up until now is stuff that I just know what to do most of the time, right? Like I know I have to go hard in sales. I know I have to take care of the clients. I know the answers are there. It's just, can you do it? Are you lazy or not? Can you work hard? Can you be in a position where you can balance all of it? But you know the answers. But now at this point and moving forward, the answers are not that easy. It's going to come down to what you want, first of all. Okay. Let's call that like the first principle. And then after that, it's going to come down to like things like, what's actually going to make it work better, right? And it's not any clear way, because it's like different combinations, and each combination will have similar results, but slightly different of its own kind, depending on the structure. So, I mean, this video is not to, basically come to like, this is the way to do it. Obviously, that'll defeat the whole purpose. What I'm trying to say is, it's good to think about these things, because eventually, as you grow your business, it's going to really come down to preference. Right? Like I was saying, if I was to, let's say continue, and I'm like the head SEO with one other guy, or maybe I'm the only main guy who's like testing and making sure the fulfillment side of like the strategy side of the whole fulfillment as time passes is in place, so that I have other people, in place to, execute on it. Let's say another main guy who's like implementing all the on-page and stuff like that, and some of the high level SEO, and then obviously VAs under that, doing that. What's the difference there? The difference is this. I mean, there's so many differences, right? So let's start with what mostly people would care about, which is profit, right? Let's say how much money you're going to make. If you're still that role, right? It means that you can be at 100K a month and still have a high profit margin, right? I would say, it's possible to keep it like around 65-70%, right? If you're watching this and you're like, under 10K, and that sounds like it's low, you need to get over that. It's something I had to get over with, over time as well. You're not going to be able to keep 90% profit margin. It doesn't work like that, right? But you would be able to keep, given you're selling properly and everything like that, 65-70% is good. It means that after everything is cut, guys, every single month, you're getting clean cuts, $70,000 a month, and your business is bringing in $100,000 a month, which is pretty awesome with that kind of structure. Now, if you are going for more of the type of structure that people aim for, or like they talk about the most, which is like everything's automated, you don't have to do shit now, reporting nothing, like your phone doesn't even ring. Like you're in, like I'll go to Bali and I'll come back for 3 months and like, sales are reached new levels of, it went from 100 to 130K a month, and they're getting fulfilled and everything's fantastic. Like that's under 40% profit margin. Guaranteed. You're probably not going to even keep 50%. It's going to be very difficult, because then you're talking about a structure that you have at least one other guy who is a killer salesman, right? Like, for example, like let's say I have one other guy who's like me, right? In the thing with the proper commission structure that allows him to really push hard and be committed and be motivated and, bring sales in while everything happens, onboarding and everything perfectly, client expectations setting, all the way to fulfillment being done and getting them results. That's some high level fucking shit. Like, you need multiple high level stuff in place to to execute that. And that kind of structure would probably include, for 100K a month agency, again, at least one other main head SEO who's also on the brink of the market, doing strategy, everything, who's getting at least 50 to 60K a month, right? 40 to 60K, 40 to 60K a year salary. So, 4 to 5K a month would go just to that guy to execute on those things. And while the sales rep's selling, he's also the main guy, and then you have the VAs, and then probably an assistant, right? So right now my girlfriend's assistant. I'd probably need somebody else who'd do it, because if I'm in vacation, then she's not going to be okay with being here. But the point is, that's another structure. That's still fucking awesome. That means that you are actually free of your time and bringing in like 40K a month. Business is bringing in 100K a month. Yeah, and you're bringing in clean cut 40K a month after everything is cut and done through, paying everybody properly. Clients are getting results, and you barely have to be there, right? Just make sure, once a week or something like that, talk to the head manager, talk to the sales guy, make sure everything's okay. Pretty much, right? Like you're down to half an hour of work, an hour of work or something like that, theoretically, when everything's said and done, right? So these are really interesting concepts, because it really comes down to, we're talking about a difference of like literally how much I'm making now. And that's the difference between 40K and making 70K a month. And it's just about choosing where you want to go. What is it you'd want to do? I'm probably a little bit early in thinking about all this stuff. It's probably not like super necessary to go full into right now. And, I'm taking the opportunity to think about it and kind of like delve into these ideas, especially because I am taking a break and going on vacation where I'm not going to be selling and all that. So this is a really good opportunity to do so. But wanted to share with you guys as well to see, what kind of takes some people have in the industry on this kind of stuff. And yeah, other than that, guys, I'm pretty fucking happy of how things are going. We're now getting into a point where, I'm really going to systematize things to the next level, and bring the fulfillment up to a standard where it's really like actually top notch, right? Like actually, like I want to be, like I said, I want to be known as number one, right? By the end of this year, I want to be at a position where I'm considered for roofing industry, at least one of the main go-to industry leading services out there. And that's not reached by me saying it or me even, showing up on Google first page for roofing SEO and stuff, although that needs to be done. That's done by when I would say that mark is hit when a good percentage of the clients that's coming on is saying things like, yeah, we have heard your name, that, we're in groups or something like that. We heard that you're like the go-to guy. That's when that is set. When that happens, that's when I would say that, okay, that mark is pretty much on point. So yeah, just wanted to share with you guys. Other than that, stay tuned for some videos from Bali. That's going to be coming up. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. And yeah, peace.